Welcome back to the channel, it's Nine, and today we are going to be talking about how it looks like Sony could be getting ready to make another big acquisition, possibly the biggest acquisition yet. Before we jump into that, if you could do me a huge favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and share the video. Helps the channel a ton. Now let's talk about this and figure out what this all could mean. Now, Bloomberg stated Sony gaming unit adds Uber antitrust lawyer amid expansion plans. And this specific person is Greg McCurdy. He used to work for Xbox during their inception when they first went into the market and tried to combat against PlayStation and the momentum that they had going for them at the time, which was insane, leading up to the PS2. Now, Greg McCurdy also had this to say over on LinkedIn. I'm very excited to be joining Sony Interactive Entertainment as Senior Director, Competition and Regulatory. The world of video games is fascinating and will be a great new adventure for me. So that's what we know in terms of what's being said. Let's discuss the possibilities, what this could all mean. And this could just be Sony staffing up in their legal department. This could also mean they need to hire new talent to prepare for the biggest acquisition yet, and it's clear that this is in relation to video games in their gaming division. And one other possibility is that this could even point towards a Square Enix acquisition actually being possible. But let's be realistic, because I want to kind of clear the air here. That, to be clear, I'm not saying yes for sure 100% Sony is buying Square Enix, but I'm speculating on the possibilities, and one reason that this could be the case is because of some changes Square Enix has made recently and some comments that they've made as well. And so we're going to discuss why I believe it could be Square Enix. So first off, we had the random sell-off of beloved IP in major studios, which really shocked everyone, especially for the amount that they sold them for. It wasn't like they sold them for a reasonable amount or something that was kind of fitting to the amount of nostalgia that those IP had, and also the amount of popularity that they have still even today. Some believe this was a sign of them preparing to be acquired by Sony, and it is a fact that this move does technically simplify the acquisition if it were to take place. We also know Sony has had very tight dealings and exclusive partnerships with many of Square Enix's games. We have yet to even see Final Fantasy VII Remake make it to Xbox, and it's been years that this game has been out. We have Final Fantasy XVI, Forspoken, and FF7 Rebirth all console exclusive, and some strictly for PS5. And obviously down the road, we're going to see those games probably make it to PC, Steam, as we've seen with Sony's own games. So that wouldn't be a surprise that we see this with Square Enix titles as well, regardless if there's an acquisition or not. The biggest oddity in all of this is how Square Enix has suddenly become extremely efficient at developing games. Tetsuya Nomura, the creative director on Final Fantasy VII Remake and obviously Rebirth, said the development of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has been progressing rapidly since we have adopted a new development structure. And so we're supposed to believe that this new development structure just happened out of nowhere, that they just figured it out, right? And they've been kind of slacking in that department in creating games efficiently, and all of a sudden they've just figured it out. But what has changed? So we have heard new teams joining and working with Sony talk about the advantages of their knowledge and resources and how it amplifies productivity and creating an overall better product. And I don't see what the new structure could be referring to, especially because they have already switched to Unreal Engine. So that was one thing that people speculated on before could change things. But this seems to be even further past that something else, even more so, was done. And so it makes us wonder, what is this new development structure that's caused the game to progress rapidly? What is this that has changed everything? And ultimately, this new development structure just raises questions because we don't have the answers to any of this. So my speculation on this entire matter is that, is it possible that either one, they are working with Sony and Sony has given them the resources and everything to kind of develop their games a little more efficiently, or even bigger than that, have they been acquired, or is there talks to be acquired by Sony, as this would obviously make sense in terms of their partnerships, their dealings, everything kind of comes together. Square Enix is a perfect fit in Sony, so this wouldn't be out of the ordinary, especially now that they are just specifically focusing mostly on their major IPs and the Japanese side of their games. Furthermore, Nomura states that development on the third entry has already begun as well. So clearly super efficient, everything's going really smoothly. Initially, I speculated that yes, this could just be in relation to assets being reused and the story already being written for the third entry. And of course, those things still stand, but we're exploring even deeper into that. So in conclusion, ultimately, I do understand that these two things may have no relation at all. I'm not saying that these are 100% happening. I'm just saying that there could be something happening behind the scenes. There could be something possibly happening after all the rumors that we've ever heard. I mean, for years now that Square Enix and Sony have been in talks of some sort of greater partnership, maybe one that involves Square Enix joining Sony, even if they act independently afterwards, like the same way Bungie does, but still being acquired by Sony nonetheless. It's a very interesting topic. I find this very intriguing. We don't know for sure, right? But I do think that based on the info available to us and Sony's growing relationship with Square Enix, this makes them an ideal candidate for an acquisition, right? Sony needs to fill out that Japanese portfolio, right? They don't have any real Japanese studios, right? I mean, they're very small. Polyphony Digital, they have Team Asobi, and I think that's all they have in terms of their Japanese teams. I could be wrong. I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments, but they could really use the acquisition of Square Enix, right? That would definitely fill out their Japanese portfolio a lot. And of course, they already are signing constant exclusive deals with them. So why not take that further step to bring them into the PlayStation family? It might make the most sense in that case. But I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think of Sony possibly gearing up to make another big acquisition? Do you think it could be Square Enix or could it be someone else? Let me know in the comments. And a big shout out to one of my friends, Dan, over on Twitter, who actually brought this up to me, talking about things changing for Square Enix and how this may mean something in regards to a possible acquisition from Sony. And him and I have been talking back and forth about that. So big shout out to Dan. Thank you so much for letting me know about this. And it kind of intrigued me and made me want to explore this a lot more. As always, guys, if you have not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share the video. Helps the channel a ton. You can follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Links will be in the description. I will talk to you all on the next one. Take care.